Media matters next. Even as Colors and Star Plus continue to seesaw for the top spot, NDTV Imagine and Sony Entertainment Television have announced new programming this week. Shweta Shriram finds out if any of this will help them break into the top 3 bracket.
About ambition.
The quest for high ratings is an unending one. The third phase of Sony Entertainment Television's revamp kicked in this week with the launch of 3 new shows: DPL or Dance Premier League, Pyar Ka Bandhan and Betab Dil Ki Tamanna Hai from Balaji Telefilms. Sony is also said to have tied up with Yash Raj Films to produce programming that will launch by the end of the year. 60% of the channel's lineup comprises fiction shows today, and though the channel will invest in big-ticket reality shows to bring in the audience, it believes it is the fiction programming that will keep the audience glued and the ratings rising.
You bring in expensive properties, reality programming like Dance Premier League, which we're launching, which is a very exciting new format, never been done before, to further peak your GRPs during the weekends. But we also have established formats like CID that have been consistently good for us for the last 13 years. So there are a number of elements that you use to bring up the GRPs, but at the end of the day, you have to succeed weekday fiction programming.
NDTV Imagine, which has been fighting for the number 4 position with Sony for the past year, saw Rakhi Ka Swayamvar bring in the best ratings ever. The channel, which was launched as a family entertainment channel, adopted a female-oriented strategy in January, realizing that this is where the ratings and the money lie. Now it is placing its bets on Pati Patni Aur Wo, which launched this week, and Rahul Le Jayenge Dulhania, which is scheduled for a December launch. Despite all this momentum, both Sony and NDTV Imagine continue to remain below the number 3 position and contribute to only about 14% of the 2,500 crore rupees GEC revenue pie. The channels have realized that breaking the number 3 barrier is going to be a tough task.
The challenge is to be able to identify that one big property. One big property helps you, gain viewership very quickly. But the staple of any general entertainment channel tends to be its fiction shows. People, that's the kind of show that people tune into night after night on prime time. And I think if our entire offering of fiction shows is strong and robust, then that one property can do wonders for us.
Both channels fight tooth and nail even for the 4th position because it means a greater chance to be on an advertiser's media plans and automatically some guaranteed returns. But getting to number 1 is going to be harder than one would imagine.
Now the GEC viewership is primarily a zero-sum game, right? So you want to get to number 3, somebody has to lose. And it's not as if Z or Star are trying to lose, right? They also want trying to go up the ladder or at least consolidate what they have, right? So unless somebody else loses, which means makes a mistake, it's not going to be easy. So my feel is you got to be able to do the right thing, focus on the customer, do the right programming, right marketing, and wait for somebody to make a mistake. It doesn't sound very strategic, but I don't think it is going to be easy breaking into number 3 anymore.
So while the battle at the top continues, what will be interesting to look out for in the short run is for a clear number 4 to emerge from these 2 channels.
Meanwhile, Colors has got back the number 1 spot last week and is launching Big Boss with the Big B this weekend. There's more on message board. Starcom Media West Global President Andrew Swinan was in Mumbai and he says the focus for the next 2-3 years is the digital business.
Our goal is to double our digital revenue year on year, for the foreseeable future. And I think, we've done it this year. I see it as an achievable goal.
India is out of the ICC Champions Trophy, unfortunately for ESPN Star Sports, and the first week's ratings have also come in pretty low. Take a look between 0.2 and 1.1 there. Not surprisingly, the India-Pakistan match has got the highest rating of 6.2. Media buyers, though, say that a lot of new brand launches are expected and cricket will therefore continue to pull advertisers.
From last year to this year, there is a lot more cricket happening in the country. One would expect because a lot more cricket, there would be depressed rates. On the contrary, across all tournaments, rates have gone up by 70 to 80%. So what people paid for like to like last year was X, people are paying almost double of that this year.
A place shaped like
Yahoo has a new global campaign. It was launched in New York last week, will launch on the 5th in India as well as in the UK. This $100 million campaign is the biggest so far that the brand has seen, and there is a lot of revamp underway.
It's you.
We've launched
and relaunched a lot of new products. We are going in the market and talking about our brand in a much more vocal manner. I think what consumers should expect are better consumer experiences which are more personally relevant, and this is just a beginning. We see it as more as a multi-year transformation. The current campaign is also envisaged to carry on for at least the next 12 to 18 months.
And at the CNBC Awaaz Consumer Awards this week, we gave out the first Storyboard campaign of the year. It was picked up, not surprisingly, by Vodafone and Ogilvy for the Zuzu campaign, which was unanimously voted the best campaign of the year. And